tuned the same, but also the viola is tuned the same with the cello, which is an octave higher. So this is like,
Hi there, my name is Matt Small. I'm the artistic director and founder of Small Art Music Projects in San Francisco, and we host instrumental music workshops for kids and families. I'm here with my daughter Rosie.
Hi.
And we wanted to do some home simulations of some of the instruments we feature in our classes. We feature instruments from all over the world. And today the one we want to feature for you is the Glockenspiel. Glockenspiel is a German instrument, German European instrument, and it's been around a long time. It's representative of many instruments that have metal bars. You can see here, oops, sorry. This has a variety of metal bars that are tuned the same as a piano would be. So the white keys are the same as the white keys on a piano, and the black keys, or the black bars, are the same as the black keys on a piano. So it has a Western tuning to it, and it's a very common instrument in orchestral music and classical music, but it has many distant cousins all over the world, like the gamelan instruments in Indonesia are tuned metal bars, totally different tradition than the Western European tradition. Also, the vibraphone is an instrument that grew out of xylophones and the metal glockenspiels. A celeste, which has these other small bars to it, another European instrument. Also, maybe even like a steel drum, the steel pans from the Caribbean have little sections of tuned pockets that you play on a metal drum. So this is it's representative of many different kinds of interesting instruments. So I wanted to try for you something at home, a really simple simulation here where we're using utensils, spoons and forks that are taped to Tupperware. Here, we got a big spoon there, we got a big fork taped right here, just a small piece of tape. And the key to this is, so let me play this a little bit just so you can hear it. Here's the sound of the Glockenspiel. That's the Glockenspiel sound, and here's the sound of our little home simulation. So what we're doing is we're using, the resonance isn't as good as the Glockenspiel, but we're using something metal that has a resonance to it, and we're attaching it to a resonator, the Tupperware case. And we're doing it at a certain point in the spoon where it's naturally, it's kind of like a fulcrum point where it's the only point touching. It's a balance point. So you can see that we're not muting the metal utensil. So, and that's an important sort of concept for getting the sound out of something. If something's going to make sound, it's a drumstick concept as well. When you have the fulcrum of a stick, and the fulcrum is where a stick will balance on its own. So there's the fulcrum. If I put it here, it falls over. Put it here, it falls over. So we're kind of doing that with the metal utensils. You want to kind of find the fulcrum point of the metal utensil so that it has open resonance on this side and some open resonance on this side. Now, just to sort of show you, if we have a metal spoon here, it doesn't have much of a sound. Even if you're holding it, it kind of has a dull sort of sound. And then Tupperware has a kind of a non-pitched sound, sort of like a drum sound. But if you combine them together, the Tupperware acts as kind of a resonator for the metal utensil. And so we kind of have some tunings going on here. I think this one is a C, so here's C on the Glockenspiel. I don't think that's C, that's something else. Here, this is, I think that's B flat and D flat. Yeah. And here's kind of, these are in between an F and an E. So similar, they're similar. They're not exactly pitched, obviously, to this. But what's cool about this is that you can do some fun stuff with this. The other thing that attracted me to the sound of these was that you get a little bit of sustain. Sustain is how long a sound will last for. So when I tried with some other utensils, they didn't quite get the same sustain. But when I attached them to the Tupperware, I got a little bit more, enough of a sustain to hear it pitch. So why don't we let's try playing something together. Let's turn on our metronome here just to give us some rhythm. And we'll practice playing along with the metronome. Why don't you try with the drumsticks. You play something on the black keys. Do the black keys first, and then I'll play along here. And I got our chops. These are just normal chopsticks from home. Anything that we use to hit the utensils. Okay, count it off. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Listen to metronome, right? Let's try again. Let's listen to the metronome so we can stay with it. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Great, cool, great. We got a little bit off there, but you can hear it's got a different sound on the Glockenspiel, obviously, and then its own kind of unique sound with our Tupperware setup here. And so there's a cool kind of stem and steam thing you can do with your little kids, showing them, maybe do some reverse questioning with them, saying, you know, talk about the Glockenspiel, talk about instruments with metal tines on them and how they make sound, and then how could you create that at home? Let them kind of think of it, say, what can they think of in their house that's metal that might make a sound? Hopefully they come to some silverware as an idea. And then what would be a resonator you could attach to it? The Tupperware idea. And then how are you going to attach the two? That's where the tape comes in. So use your tape. So that might be a fun thing for some of the younger kids to sort of get them thinking about how they could create this on their own. And and then one more cool thing to show you, these are real drumsticks. The real drumsticks that you would kind of use at home with maybe a practice pad or a real drum set if you're practicing at home. These, obviously, the chopsticks don't have nearly the same kind of professional feel that a drumstick would have. But there is some kind of cool stuff here that you can practice with just chopsticks. For some older students, if you want to work on some of your rhythm, let's try to do something. Let me try to do something. Here, you take these guys. I want you to go on the white keys now, and I'll try to go super fast. I'll use you can practice a drum rudiment if you want, even on some of these things. One would be called one is called the paradiddle, which is right. What is it? Paradiddle? Right, left, 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 left. So paradiddle is right, left, left, left. So, what's your paradiddle? Do you want to do your paradiddle, Joe?
Sure. What do you call a drumming dog?
What?
A paradoodle.
Ah, so good. So good. That was her joke. She made that up a couple years ago. That was pretty good. So let's turn on this fast. I'll turn on something fast here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to work on some fast drumming technique here, which is actually kind of cool to work on just musically. And then you do something here. You don't have to go super fast. Maybe do something that's
like in between that and what we just did?
Yeah, no, let's keep it this tempo. Let's try to do it fast,
okay.
But you don't have to play fast. So you just think about playing bum. Oh, move her a little bit. Come on, right here. Do like one. You play on the beats a lot.
Okay.
1, 2, and go. Good. Let's measure them too. Keep going. 2, 3. Good. We got a little bit off. That's okay. That's okay. We're practicing our different things. When you're practicing, don't worry about not being perfect, because when you're practicing, you're trying to work on becoming more perfect and better at what you're doing. So don't worry about making mistakes. We're not worrying about mistakes on our videos because we want you to see just us experimenting and trying things around. And then one last little thing on this guy, on this little water bottle I have, there's a spoon, if you can see that. Let me move this in a little bit. This one's kind of cool. This one, I attached a little spoon to a water bottle, and it makes kind of a weird sound. And if I hit it, and then there's this little part of it where you can close the water bottle. And this is sort of similar to the aperture of like a drum, if you close up a drum with your hand and play. So I'm just gonna play this real fast, just hear it. And there's a cool like kind of crunchy sound. I don't know if you can hear this or not, but. I just broke it, there you go. Anyway, if you can hear that kind of crunchy sound, there's a cool kind of like squeaky sound here that I didn't realize that it just sort of happened. So that was kind of a neat invention there. And if I close this up, the pitch changes if I kind of keep it a little bit closed. And then you open it back up. Anyway, it's an interesting little idea you can experiment with a water bottle. Thanks so much. Hope you enjoy that. Experiment with your homemade Glockenspiel and your metal tine instruments, and we'll see you next time. Thanks very much.
But also the old ones do the same with the cello as the octave higher. So this is the basically a viola. It's not a true cello sound. Same number of strings. Yeah, tuned the same. But also the old ones do the same with the cello as the octave higher. like this is the basically